Coming up on the Sports Desk, can you say finals? North and South football are finals bound. We've got all the highlights on how it happened. Bye-bye, boys water polo. Hello, girls. We're back in the pool for an all-new season. Guess who else is back at the Torrance Aquatic Center? The men's USA water polo team. We'll tell you when and why. On the field with the Tartars and Lady Saxons soccer squads, ECC's women's volleyball claims the big prize and now won an even bigger one. ECC's men's soccer is on that track too. Elko men's and women's basketball teams are trying to find their footwork, while b-ball in our high schools finds the wins. We've got the who, what, where, when, why, and how. Let's get things started right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Sports Desk, your one source for all things Torrance sports. I am your host, Lesley Robbins, bringing you a gateway to the brightest sports stars and hottest sports spots in Torrance. Before we get to the good stuff, we want to hear from you. Here are the social media stats. I'm at Lesley Mia. The show is at the Sports Desk TV. We've got email, Facebook. Tell us what's going on and what we need to know, because when it comes down to it, this show is all about you. Now let's get you in the know with some numbers. North High did it. South High did it. For the first time since 2012, there are two Torrance Unified Schools in the CIF Southern Section Football Finals. South will host St. Pius Academy in the Division 14 final at home, while North will be on the road against Highland. Starting off with the Saxons, they were on the road against San Dimas, and their defense literally shut out the rushing attack on the Saints, sending them to the championship game with a 14-0 victory. Trevor Lagarde passed 33 yards to Stephen Bradford Jr. with a 7-0 lead over San Dimas. Then it was Joey McCormick's 4-yard run that gave North the 14-0 lead over the Saints early in the fourth. The rest, as they say, is history. South overpowered Loara to grab their spot in the Division 14 championship game. QB Drew Nash had 320 yards passing and 3 touchdowns in the victory, while Cade Jones caught 8 passes for 139 yards and a score, while also grabbing 2 interceptions. That was more than enough to send this Spartans team to the final dance as well.
You know, came in knowing that we were the better team and all we had to do was just do our jobs. You know, Cade Jones played great tonight, 2 picks and a touchdown. You know, this team's great. We still got one more though. The receivers, just wherever it was tonight, they were catching it. You know, I gotta give props to my O-line too. They played very well. And you know, we're focusing on next week. We started this season in January with our new offensive coordinator, and every time we've been working so hard ever since then, and you know, hard work pays off.
We knew we were going to come out and beat these guys. We were playing with a bunch of confidence. We were playing with a lot of physicalness. We were playing very fast, very well overall, and this is why we won, and this is why we're going to the championship. We started in January, got our new coach, and helped build the morale of everyone else. Changed it a little bit. I mean, of course, all the other coaches did their part. Same with him, but it's because of the coaches. That's why we're here right now.
You know, Drew's been our guy for the whole year. We've jumped on his back here the last few weeks in particular. So he just led us again like he did last week in the fourth quarter when we hadn't needed to come back. And Cade's got, you know, who knows what he's talking about half the time, to be honest with you, but he's got, I think that's his 9th and 10th interception on the year. So he's got a knack for the ball, obviously, as you see on both sides. You know, we're going to have to play our best game. And we've played some really good games lately, but we're going to play our best game of the year. Whoever wins on that side, we're going to have to execute at a premium, play better than we did tonight. But we're just happy to be there. We look forward to it.
P.S. The last Torrance school to win a CIF Southern Section football final was West back in 1982 under Fred Peterson. A 23-point fourth quarter helped ECC record its second bowl victory. In the last 3 years, they grabbed a 54-45 win in the Patriotic Bowl over San Diego Mesa. Okay, from football to football, girls and boys soccer is back in full swing at our high schools, and the Sports Desk stopped by Torrance and North to help kick off the season. Cameron Stelly has more.
Torrance High boys soccer hosted Norwalk Tuesday for a home non-conference game, but couldn't seal the win. Early in the first, the Lancers capitalized on a penalty kick by putting this one in the back of the net. Then shortly after that, the Lancers, again in Tartars territory, an assist from midfield to the left corner, and this one is shot on goal, getting past goalie Christian Hatzakis. The Tartars not able to respond, then the Lancers again with a corner kick, places this ball nicely, and it goes just above Hatzakis' hands again from a header, making it 3-0. Torrance is finally able to get on the board with less than a minute and a half to go in the first half, with a goal from Luca Banfo making it 3-1. After half, Tartars defense holds the Lancers at 3 and put one more on the board from Angel Alvarez, but come up short, losing 3-2. Here's the Tartars' thoughts on tonight's game.
We started kind of slow, but as a team we kind of came together as the game progressed, and I was proud of how the boys ended. If the ball bounces a couple different ways, we end up winning that game, and we probably should have. We had plenty of opportunities. We just got to work on some finishing and putting the ball in the net when we need it.
As you know, it was our first game. We lost a lot of players last year. We had 19 seniors. They all graduated, so it's a whole new team. Right now we're just more on bonding and just trying to find our way of playing.
Basically, the game was more of get ourselves ready for the rest of the season and try to connect with each other mostly, because we're all new with each other. So I think the main objective for us is to try to connect. So this game was definitely a good game for us to try that.
North High girls soccer hosted Notre Dame Academy Thursday, shutting them out 4-0. In the first half, Caitlin Mejia gets an assist and takes a shot on goal, getting the Saxons on the board. Then at the start of the second half, Saxons in Notre Dame's territory and puts this one in the back of the net. Then later in the half, Genesis Lopez breaks free from defenders and takes a great shot on goal from the right corner and sinks this one in over the goalie's head. And the last goal of the night comes from an assist from Caitlin Mejia, who tricks 4 defenders, then passes it off to Joanny Arana, who puts it in the goal, and the Saxons win it 4-0. Take a listen to what the Saxons thought about their exciting win.
Second half, I think we did better than first half. We got our intensity higher, started communicating better, and passing the ball.
Honestly, I did not want to leave the field without making a goal. And I was actually really, really proud that I actually got that assist from Caitlin. And yeah, I didn't think it was going to go in because it had curved, but when it went in, I was like, no way. Like, I actually made it.
Okay, coming up, more soccer action for you from ECC. Just call the Elko women's V-ball team winners. We're on the hardwood with both ECC basketball squads, plus balling with the girls and boys in our high schools. The USA men's water polo team is back in Torrance, oh yeah. And in our high schools, move over boys, the girls are now taking over the pool to play water polo. Their season has begun. Stay tuned.
Label me.
You know you want to.
Don't be shy.
You do it behind my back.
Say it to my face.
You don't know me. You know what I am?
I'm a pitcher.
I'm a striker.
I'm a point guard.
I'm a linebacker.
I'm a setter.
Shortstop.
High jumper.
Wrestler.
Defender.
Goalie.
Student.
Student athletes. That's who we are.
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Lesley Robbins here. Big news in the water polo world as the men's USA water polo team will be back training at the Torrance Aquatic Center. The men will once again be using the center as their home base, this time in the lead up to the Tokyo Summer Olympics 2020. Earlier this year, when we were with them, they were first training to make the Olympics. Exciting stuff. Their first match against Serbia is coming up in late December, and we will be there. Staying at the pool, girls water polo is now in full swing in our high schools, coming to you from the Torrance Aquatic Center, and Melanie Chacon has all the action.
Thanks, Lesley. This was a really good matchup between South High and Beverly Hills tonight, and despite the high score and some great saves made by the Spartans' keeper, South fell to Beverly Hills 13-12. This is only the second game for the Spartans, and South has a long season ahead of them. Here are some of the highlights from tonight's game. Beverly Hills came out hot and South had an answer. Both teams fought for the lead, and it was Keira McCarthy's shot on goal that tied it up at 5. A turn and a toss for South, and it was 7-all at the half. The third and fourth quarters were a battle between the two teams, and the Knights got the victory over the Spartans 13-12.
We had a game yesterday, and I feel like compared to that game, we really improved a lot. We learned to communicate with our teammates. We learned to drive more, take more shots on goal. So I feel like it's already our second game, and we're already improving a lot. My goals for this year and for our team in general would be to build our team together and create a better bond. We're already super close as a team, but I feel like bringing our team together will not only bring us better together as friends, but also work on our communication and our leadership as a team.
I feel like we are really good friends, but we need to be a little bit better together on the field. So I feel like we did really good tonight, though. We took a lot of shots compared to yesterday, and we were really good on defense, and because there's a couple hard girls to cover, so we were really good on defense, and we were really good at countering. I think we need to work on our shooting, because I know that most of our team can take a really good shot, but we just need to work on doing it in the actual game. And then also if there's a hard set player, covering them, and also communicating more as a team. I want us to get far in CIF, because we did well last year. And I want us to become closer as friends and as a team and just get better.
And on the other side of town, North took on Beverly Hills on Friday, and the Knights didn't waste any time getting on the board, and in fact shut the Saxons out in the first quarter 9-0. But despite their scoreless start, North made some great shot attempts on goal and did not give up on their defensive effort, forcing the Knights to work harder for the plays that they wanted. The Saxons got their first goals in the second quarter and were able to tighten up their defense, holding the Knights to just 2 points in the second, ending the half 11-2 in Beverly's favor. In the second half, the Saxons did their best to catch up but could not overcome their deficit, and Beverly Hills got the W over North 19-6. Here's what the Saxons head coach had to say about her young team after the game.
My girls, for a majority of them, it's their first year playing. It's their first time ever playing water polo. And personally, I think that they did amazing. They still have a lot to learn, but I think for their second game, they did an awesome job. They did play against a team that has been established for a while. And they've learned some new things, so that's what's important.
The Lady Tartars also kicked off their season with 2 big wins, first defeating Cabrillo 5-1 and then beating Venice 7-5. And the CIF Southern Section Cross Country Championships just went down, and a few area schools are headed to the state championships. West High's boys team came in 7th in Division 2, while in the Division 3 race, the South High girls team came in 5th, and the Torrance girls landed in 6th, which qualified each of them to go to state at Woodward Park in Fresno next weekend. Okay, coming up, it's all about ECC. We've got volleyball, soccer, men's and women's basketball, and of course, all the high school basketball scores you need to know. Stay tuned.
You taught him how to hit a baseball, how to hit a receiver, the strike zone, the net. You taught him how to hit the upper corner. You even taught him how to hit the open man. But how much time have you spent teaching him what not to hit?
Welcome back to the Sports Desk. Lesley Robbins here. Say hello to the #1 seed Elko women's volleyball team as the Community College Regional Playoffs kick off in mere days. This comes on the heels of the team claiming its 10th straight South Coast Conference crown with this 3-1 victory over #2 seed Long Beach at the Hall of Champions gym at Long Beach City College. We were there as the #4 seed Elko men's soccer team hosted #13 Cypress in the opening round of the Community College Regional Playoffs inside Murdoch Stadium. Oh, and they grabbed the dub. Khalil Silva supplied the only offense of the night. This header in the 43rd minute as Elko blanked Cypress 1-0. The Warriors will now host #5 Orange Coast in round 2.
We've turned it around. I mean, this is a historic year for us in terms of our program, and I think this now gets us to 13 wins. We only have 2 losses on the season, which is fantastic. When you get into November and you have 2 losses and they're only to 1 team, it's a great year. But this today was a hard-fought match. Cypress has a new coach. They have new life into their program, and they're very well coached, and they have a bright future. And our guys were challenged here tonight, and we came to the test. This is the first round. There's 16 teams in the tournament, so we now get advanced to the Elite 8 in terms of the South. But I couldn't be happier for these guys. These guys have put in some good work. Some of these guys have been a carryover from the last year, some of them last 2 years, in them trying to build us to this point. So it's really special for them and special for everyone. The future's bright. I mean, we have a great opportunity to do great things. It's when you get into playoff, this is a one-and-done type of game. So it doesn't matter whether you're the number 1 seed or whether you're the 16th seed. You got a chance to win the game. So in our sport, that very much can happen. But tonight, I'm really pleased with how we performed.
I thought it was a good effort, team effort. You know, we've been working hard the whole season. So, you know, it's a team effort. You know, I got to give it up to these guys. Got to give it up to those guys. They gave their all, and you know, the better team came up winning. So, and it was a good goal. You know, it's good passes from my teammates. So, got to give it up to them.
The Sports Desk has been all over Elko's basketball court too, with both the women's and men's teams. Some highs, some lows. Justin Thompson breaks it down.
Thanks, Lesley. The ECC girls basketball team took their 4th loss of the season here tonight against Irvine Valley College. They played them tight in the first half, but the third quarter proved to be too tough for the Warriors to overcome. We'll get the highlights going right now. Irvine Valley came out aggressive, utilizing a full-court press on defense that was giving El Camino fits to start the game. Lots of turnovers and points in the paint helped IVC jump out to an early 10-2 lead. The Warriors would battle back, though, figuring out how to beat the press and going on a nice run, capped off with a nifty reverse layup from Taylor Hart to cut the deficit to 3 points. More Taylor Hart here towards the end of the first quarter. Some nice defense on display by the freshman guard who was playing for North High last year. On to the second quarter, where IVC picked up where they left off, extending the lead to 23-16. But again, El Camino would fight back, and a nice 3 from Taylor Hart and 2 free throws from Ashley Nguyen would tie the game at 23 with 2 minutes left in the half. But unfortunately, the third quarter would be the one where ECC fell short. Irvine opened up the second half on a 16-4 run, and the Warriors found themselves down 47-32 heading into the fourth and final quarter of play. Taylor Hart doing all she could to keep the Warriors in the game, hitting back-to-back threes to bring the team within 12, but ultimately IVC proved to be too much, and the Lasers would stay undefeated on the year, winning this one 62-40. After the game, we caught up with the reigning South Coast Conference Coach of the Year to see if he was happy with the team's performance.
The end result not, right, because we're always playing to get wins. But I thought the first half we were a pretty good basketball team against a very good team, you know, Irvine Valley. It was a game that we talked about yesterday when we were watching video, that if we didn't come out ready to play, that game could be over in the first quarter. And we made a lot of progress compared to our previous performance, and I thought from that standpoint it was good. They're learning, right? We've got a lot of new people. It's a little bit different in the way we do things maybe than what they're used to in high school in previous years. So we really believe that for us to be successful, we've got to run our system, and everybody's got to do their part and do their thing, right? We can't just have individuals running out there. And I thought we started to do that. We got a better feel for it. I mean, some of that you can do on the practice floor. A lot of it you're just not really going to understand until you get game experience, and so the game experience and all of that's going to really help us.
It's been a tough start to the season for the ECC men's basketball team, who have come up short in their first 5 games. They gave us a glimpse of what this team is capable of in their first win of the season last week in a thriller over Porterville that they won by a final score of 59-58. ECC will have their next home game against Golden West on December 6th. We'll be there to cover it, hoping that the Warriors get their first home win of the season.
For b-ball in our high schools, it was a tight first game of the season for the Bishop Montgomery girls basketball team, who visited Harvard Westlake. Watch as the Wolverines make it 19-all going into the half, but the Knights were victorious in the end, opening their season with a 44-41 win. In boys basketball, St. Anthony took down Delray League rival Bishop Montgomery in the final of the Pac Shores tournament, 48-45. West was away for their first two games. They lost the first to Valley Christian, 58-54, then took on Northwood on the road and got the dub, 68-55. South had a good start to their season against Palos Verdes, winning 62-42. Torrance played Los Altos in the Cantwell tournament and lost 75-49. Ambassador High broke out even to start, beating Hawthorne Math and Science Academy 75-70, but then falling to Edgewood 70-64. Then we have North, who took on Firebaugh and was on fire, winning 77-26. Know what else is going to be fire? Those football finals. We'll have it all for you next week. And that is going to do it for this episode. We will see you back here next week. In the meantime, here are the social media stats. I'm at Lesley Mia. The show is at the SportsDesk TV. We've got email, Facebook. Be sure to keep in touch and take us behind your scenes. For everyone here at the Sports Desk, I'm Lesley Robbins. We wish you and yours the happiest of Thanksgivings.